Hello. In this video, I'll demonstrate how to create basic charts with the help of SharePoint Dashboard Designer. First, you should download the software from our website, plumsail.com or spchart.com, and install it to your farm. If you use SharePoint Online in Office 365, you can install it directly from the App Store. Dashboard Designer supports all editions of SharePoint, including Foundation and SharePoint Online in Office 365. After installing the Dashboard Designer, you will find a Plumsail Chart button on the ribbon when you switch the page into Edit mode. Click this button to add a new chart under the cursor or into the selected web part zone if you are editing a web part page. Click Configure to navigate to the Dashboard Designer. Here you will find two main tabs, Data Source and Dashboard. Data Source is used to configure the data source of your chart, apply filters, group the data, and calculate aggregate values. With the help of the dashboard, you can visualize the data prepared on the first tab by using various charts and their properties. First, I will show you how to display the current user's tasks grouped by their status. Here we should specify the task's location. In my sample, it's located at the current site. Next, we need to choose the list and its view. My Tasks view contains tasks created by the current user only. Now, we will select fields that will be used in the chart. To increase performance, do not select unnecessary fields. In this field, you can specify the number of rows you want to receive from the server. To maximize performance, do not request more than 5,000 rows at once. Here we can group tasks by status and calculate aggregate values. We need to calculate the number of items in each group. Process. Now we can go to the Dashboard tab. Chart type. Let's do the column chart. We should uncheck this option because we're going to display aggregated data instead of creating a separate series for each group's data set. Value is the value of the field by which the data has been grouped. In our case, this is the status value. Preview. This is just a preview. To publish the chart, we need to click the Save button. OK. Now I want to modify this chart to visualize the statistics relating to tasks created during the last 30 days only. If you're a power user, you can just modify COML Query on the first tab, but I'll create a separate view for this purpose. Create view based on My Tasks view. I'm adding an additional condition to the filter. As you can see, I use a predefined token called Today. OK. I will add a similar view based on All Tasks view to visualize overall statistics as well. OK. Now let's go back to our chart and continue configuring it. Here I switch the view to My Tasks last 30 days. As you can see, our settings were transformed to COML Query. You can modify it manually if you need more complex conditions or you want to join multiple lists. Here I changed the title of the chart. And save it. Okay, now let's create a chart displaying overall information relating to all users. Add a new chart. Go to the Dashboard Designer. Here we need to choose the All Tasks Last 30 Days view. Aggregate over status field as was done previously. Process and switch to the Dashboard tab. First, I will show the distribution of all tasks by statuses using the pie chart. Here you go. Now, let's display distribution of tasks for each user separately. We should change the type of chart to bar or column. They differ in orientation only. Pick Display each group as a separate series. And here we can specify additional aggregation. Aggregate function is count as previously. These fields are applicable to date series only. I'll demonstrate how they work a bit later. Cool. Here you can configure the program to display each slice in the stack as a separate bar. Let's change the title. Okay. Now let's create a new chart and display how many tasks were created over the last 30 days. The view is all tasks again. Here I clear the aggregation and go to the chart. We need to display the tendency of changing the number of new tasks from day to day, so let's choose the line chart because it will be better than, say, the column or the bar charts. The category access field is created. The value field will be counted, so I set it in ID and switch the aggregate function to count. The unit field defines the time interval unit between subsequent categories. I set it in days. That's it. As you can see, instead of hundreds or thousands of points, we've got an aggregated chart that's quite easy to analyze. Let's change unit to weeks. Now we can see the top-level trend. Rename our chart. And finally, I want to demonstrate gauge diagrams, which are the best way to visualize key performance indicators. One of the most popular indicators in help desk systems or project management is the number of overdue tasks. Let's calculate and visualize this measurement with the help of gauge charts. Late Tasks view contains opened and overdue tasks. This is exactly what we need. Here I use a trick. I put a field that doesn't exist in my list. It equals undefined for all items in my data set, so we'll just get a single group identical to the original set. But we can calculate the aggregate value based on all items. The aggregate value is the number of items. Let's choose linear gauge type. Gauge charts are single-valued charts. They use the first value in the data set. If the data set is grouped, they use the specified field of the first group. The field name containing the target value is count. It seems there are more than 100 overdue items in my list. We should tune boundaries of the chart. Okay, now we can define qualitative ranges with appropriate hues. Poor, satisfactory, and good. Something like that. Here is how the radar chart looks. Save. You can find detailed documentation with lots of samples on our website, spchart.com. Thank you.